Okay, so you've used your highlighter to highlight the important stuff. We're reviewing some word problems, and you should have highlighted 4 cents a kilometer, $50 a day, 2 cents a kilometer for nice wheels, and $75 a day. Also, you should have highlighted is how many kilometers to be nice wheels to be cheaper. Okay, so let's start with X. Do your let statement. Let X equals. Yeah. So how many kilometers is the question? So let X equal the number of kilometers, or B kilometers. Okay. So X is the kilometers. So what we have to do for these ones, we're comparing two items. We want to make sure that we're setting it up properly. So what we're going to do is have nice wheels on one side and Rent-A-Wreck on the other. To come up with an inequality, we're going to focus on the last part of the question. Remember, your bird or your crocodile is hungry, so it eats the larger side. And it points away from, or points to the smaller side. Okay. So which way should it be eating? Which one should be larger? What are we trying to find out? If Nice Wheels is cheaper, which one's larger? Yeah, so Renta will be bigger. So you're going to have the sign, open and eat Rent-A-Wreck. That's what we're trying to find out, is when Nice Wheels will be cheaper, the sign will eat Rent-A-Wreck. Okay. So now we have to come up with the equation. And you're going to figure out when will Nice Wheels be cheaper. So what's the Nice Wheels formula? 2 cents a kilometer is 0.2 times how many kilometers were driven. Then you have to add your constant, which doesn't change. Okay. So you're going to have to add the $75 a day. Even if you don't drive that car, you got to pay $75. Okay. Make up a similar formula for Rent-A-Wreck now. Go. Okay, so complete the right side. Well, it's going to be very similar. You're going to have some number times X plus the constant. So what's the constant for Rent-A-Wreck? No. $50, right? No matter if you drive it or not, you're paying $50. How much per kilometer? 0.04. I just want to remind you, Jaden and Zach, that this is being recorded, so I can just kind of take the clip and email it off to your parents to show that you're goofing around during the lesson. Just to let you know. Okay, so what we have here is Nice and Renta. We're going to solve for X. What's that trick I talked about yesterday that we can use to get rid of our decimals? Yeah, 10 for 1 decimal, 100 for 2. What if you had 3 decimals? 1,000, yeah. But you know what? You never really do have 3 decimals. So multiply by 100. Everything gets multiplied. And so you're going to move your decimal, which means sometimes you're adding zeros. And that means we can do a lot of math now without a calculator. Solve for X. Go. So did you get that? X is greater than 1250. Okay, so now we have to go back and answer the question. When will Nice Wheels be cheaper? Okay. So Nice Wheels is cheaper when, now I gave you a really simplified example yesterday. But now we're going to focus on the English a little bit more. So what do you think when you drive how many kilometers? Zach?
That's Zach.
I know. No. X can't be. It has to be greater than that. Yep, Herman? 1251 will work. What else, Mandy? Awesome answer. Okay, so when you drive more than 1250, we don't want to give a specific number like 1251 or 1252 because there's a whole bunch of possibilities. But to cover all the answers for the English, you would say when you drive more than 1250 kilometers. Now, some of you might need to change your inequality around and flip it. So you have x first, 1250 second, and your sign, when you flip it, has to eat the same number, the same letter. Okay? So sometimes you may need to flip it so you can see your answer better. Keep that in mind. Any questions? Okay, next one. Read it. As you're reading it, get your highlighter or your pen and underline the important information. Go. So what have you got highlighted? You should have 1250, okay, including tax. His spending limit is $80. How many games to stay within his limit? Complete your let statement. Anish, what are you going to let x equal? Number of games. Perfect. Okay. So if he buys one game, how much does he have to pay? $12.50. 2 games? 25. We double it. 3 games? Multiplied by 3. 4 games? Multiplied by 4. So what about x games? Yeah, you take your price, $12.50, and multiply by x. Don't write that down. So these are standard questions. And so what it is you get your price, right? The price times the amount, so how many you buy, equals your cost. Just like when you go to the candy store, right? It's 5 cents a candy. So it's 5 cents times 3, or 5 cents times 10, or 5 cents times X. And that'll figure out how much you have to pay when you go up to the candy till. So you've done this stuff before from an early age, haven't you? Okay. So for our formula, the one side's 1250x. That's going to be the price times the amount. But what's the cost got to be? $80. But we don't have an equal sign, do we? No, because the question is asking how much for him to stay in his limit. So what kind of sign should we have? Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Right? Because he can equal $80. That's okay. He can also be less than $80. That's okay. He just can't be greater than. So we're looking for a less than or equal to. Same is okay, less than's okay, but not bigger. Okay, solve for x, go. Now this one you can multiply to get rid of your decimal, but I wouldn't because it's kind of one step, right? Divide by 1250. And so you get x is less than or equal to 6.4. So now you got to put this into a math sentence. Try and say it correctly. There's a few different things you can say. Any ideas? Haley, what's your suggestion? Awesome. He can buy 6 or less games. Who else? Who's got something different? There's different ways to say this. Anish? How much? No, because remember each game's 1250. That's kind of set. Okay, we're just looking for the number. The number. Okay, Chris.
Afford up to 6 games.
He can. Pardon me.
He can afford up to 6 games.
That's a good one. So he can buy up to 6 games. Again, you're demonstrating that he can buy less, which is good. What's that? What else could you say? Yep. Perfect. That's the other one I was going to say. He can buy a maximum of 6 games. Those are all very good ways of expressing you can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And you cannot go to 7 games or more, right? So 6 games is your limit. That's great. Got to be careful with your sentence with these ones, okay? Because there's wrong things. If you can say he can buy 6 games, that's not really true because he can buy 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. Okay. Any questions? Turn it over. Number 3. Granola is planting trees as a summer job. Read the question. Use your highlighter. Underline the important stuff. Good. So 10 cents per tree. Earn at least $20. And how many trees to achieve her goal? Your let statement. Let x equal what? Number of trees. Good job, Randy. Okay. So, she wants to earn $20, but what's her rate per tree? How would we rate that again?
0.10x.
0.10x. Okay. Now, she wants to figure out how many trees in an hour so she makes $20. So what should we have here? Should $20 be greater than, equal to, or should it be smaller? Equal? No. She can make, right? Less than? No, she doesn't want to earn less than $20. More than. So she wants to get paid more than or equal to $20. That's what the words are telling us. A little tough, right? So the amount per tree should be more than $20 or equal to $20, but not less. Okay, now for this one, what I would do is I'd multiply it by 100 because then I can do the math without a calculator. Okay. Just multiply by 100 to get rid of your decimal. You'll get 1x equals what? Or 1x is less than or equal to 2,000. So, what would you use as a sentence? Yes.
Granola must plant 2,000 more trees.
Yeah, must plant 2,000 or more trees. What's another way of saying it? She must plant.
Granola must plant at least 2,000.
Yeah, good. At least 2,000 trees. Any others? That last example we used the word maximum. What could we use this time? Yeah, minimum. Plant a minimum of 2,000 trees. Okay. All very, very, very good ways of, that's not true, yes, of expressing the answer. Okay, so here's the next one, number 4. Data started his own computer repair business. Star Trek's over. Figure out, oh, I want you to make this change right now. Change this B to an A, please. Much easier. Yes? That is a lot of trees. Let me just see here. Oh, yes it is. You know, aha. I was wondering, because actually I was just going to check my other notes. It should be 10x, right? Equals 2,000. So x would be less than or equal to 200. Good job, David. Got it right last block, wrong this block. I know. Shame, shame, double shame. Where are we here? Word problems. Let's start there. Okay, so at least 200 trees. There we go. That's more reasonable. 2,000 trees an hour? Yep.
So could we have just, done everything by 10 instead of 100?
Exactly, right? So in order to just move one decimal to get 1x, we should multiply just by 10. Okay. Do I need to go over that? You guys okay with this? Okay, I'm going to continue on. Next one, change this to option A, please. It'll be easier to answer the question because it's kind of worded wrong then. Use your highlighter, read it, go. Okay, so you should have option A, just kind of highlighted. It's $40 for a base fee, $8 per hour. Option B, no base fee, so that means it's 0 for a constant, but 15 per hour. So what's your let statement? Yes, because we should have also highlighted how many hours for A to be less expensive. So let X equal the number of hours. Okay. So we have A and B. Now which one should be less, which one should the sign eat? A is less expensive and it's hungry. So you're right, it should be eating B. Okay, B is going to be more expensive. Alright, so go for it now. What would we write down for the cost of A? $40, that's not going to change. What about $8 per hour? 8 times X, right? What about for the B? No base fee, but 15 per hour? 15x. Okay, go ahead, solve for x, then come up with a sentence. Now I solved for x on my right. I got 5.7. Yes, I went to a decimal because I wanted to know whether I should be at 5 or at 6 or whereabouts I was, okay? I had to write it the other way because I don't really know how to read that properly. But if I flip x and 5.7, what do I have to also do to my sign?
Flip the sign.
Yeah, okay, so it's the flip and sign rule. If you flip x and 5.7, you got to flip the sign as well. All right. Who's got the sentence? Option A is less expensive. Oh, Daniela, cell phone's going off. That's recorded. So you have to take that clip and send it to the parents. Mandy, go for it.
I don't know how you would say 0.7 for that option.
That's at 19 minutes too. There we go. Now I can make the clip. Go ahead, sir, Mandy. Yes, Mandy?
Option A is less expensive. Sorry, I'm lost. What's distracted?
Option E is less expensive when? Sorry? Well, we got 5.7. Is option E going to be more expensive or less expensive below 5 hours or after 5 hours? After 5 hours, because it's a greater than sign. Well, yeah, but we count whole hours. We're not going to do the decimals, okay? So I'll charge you 5 hours or 6 hours. So option A is less expensive after 5 hours or more than 5 hours. Okay. Any questions? Okay, next one. This example comes up as well. Got store A in commission, store B in commission, underlying important stuff. Go. So A, $55 per day, 3% commission. B, $40, 5%. So what do your sales have to be for store B to pay you more? So one thing to note with commission or any percentages, if you have 3% as your number, you can't do that for any math because it's not the actual value. What's the actual value of 3%? That's the decimal 0.3. So you have to use the decimal in your multiplication. For commission, it's going to be your percentage times your sales. Okay. So that's one thing you need to understand with commission. It's your percentage times your sales. So for us, let's come up with a let statement now. What should X equal? Maddie? Number of sales, or the sales amount. Okay? So how much did you sell? That's what X is. So we have A, store B. What sign are we going to have? What is the sign going to eat? Yeah, B, because you want to figure out when is B going to be more. Good. Now, I'm going to help you with A. A is going to be $55 per day. That won't change. Plus 3% of sales. So it'll be 0.03 times X. You do B now. Come up with B. It'll be very similar. Slater, what'd you get? Good job. 0.05x plus 40. Okay, solve for x. The first thing I would do is get rid of my decimals by times them by 100. Go for it. It's a race. You can do it. If I can do it without my calculator, without making a mistake this time, that'd be awesome. See, Herman, don't need a calculator. Okay, so now we have to interpret what it means in a sentence. So read your question again, figure out what X is, figure out a sentence. That's going to be $750 in sales. Good. So store B pays more if your sales are more than or over $750. Good job, Raj. Well done. Okay. There's other ways of saying it, right? So if your sales are greater than 750 or you're over 750, you'll get paid more store B. Any questions?